Hey guys, Youngblood back with you for another episode of Captain's Log. This is going to be our air-to-air specific segment. However, it's probably going to be about 3 episodes long, so hopefully you can dig in and get ready for that. For those of you that told me that I can be long-winded, I hope you're ready because I'm probably going to be rambling a little bit through this. But like normal, we're going to start a little bit basic and then work into some more advanced stuff. So stay tuned for what's coming, and let's start off with some setups. Alright, so when we're talking about your setup, there's a couple different things I want to hit on real quick. You'll notice I've got my 3 different setups here. Tank Buster, which is my air-to-ground. It's also my all-around vehicle. And then I've got my 2 air-to-air. Fly Swatter, which has the air-to-air missiles. And then Usain Bolt, the fastest man alive, has the afterburner fuel tanks. Now, if you look down here, I've got the same utility, defense, and performance on all 3. I've got one flare. I've got 3rd out of 4 tier with my flak armor. And then under performance, I've got our top of the line hover stability airframe. Now, looking at this, improved hover is obviously going to be good for air to ground. Air brake is awesome for when you have to turn on a dime. Think about like the kill turn or the Immelman or the pitch down turn. And then vertical thrust is going to help you be faster because you're going to be pointing your nose down while you're pushing spacebar and moving forward. It helps you with your speed. Not to mention, if you think about some of the maneuvers we talked about, it helps with those as well. So I've got that on all 3 of mine. It's the class that, or the setup that I prefer most. Appearance over here is basically just me pimping my ride. The other common thread between all my classes is that I've got the rotary on all 3. You can see here with the afterburners, I've got the rotary, Fly Swatter again, and then Tank Buster, I've got it here. Now, on the Fly Swatter and on the Bolt class, it makes a lot of sense because those are both specific to air-to-air. Now, with the Tank Buster, I like it because it's my best all-around class. About 90% of the time, if I'm rolling out with a Reaver, I'm going to be having this class that you see on my screen right now on, because it allows me to do a lot of damage against armor, infantry, and air. It's the all-around class that lets me get the most certs, the most XP, and help to protect and win objectives for my team. So, these are the 3 setups that I recommend. If we're going to break down, with this being an air-to-air video, the difference here, I don't use this class very often. I don't like the air-to-air missiles. And the reason for that is I feel like I fly stupid when I use them. I feel like I'm waiting on the missiles. I'm either getting some damage on a vehicle and then waiting for the lock-on where I could be doing damage with my rotary, or I'm putting myself into bad situations where I should be bugging out, waiting for that missile to lock and fire so then I can leave. It just makes me fly stupid. That's why my actually preferred air-to-air class is this one, where I've only got the Vortec rotary. Simplicity is definitely your friend. When you've only got one weapon choice, you don't have to worry about switching between the 2. Not to mention, the extra afterburner is going to give you a lot of benefits. The reverse maneuver requires afterburner. When you're trying to dodge a missile that's locked onto you, the ability to outrun it is huge. Not to mention, when you get into a situation where there's 2, 3, 4 enemy fighters around you, you can bug out and get out of there because outside of the people that are just starting, most people aren't using this. It gives you a lot of options when you're flying in the air, and that's really important. So this is overall my preferred air-to-air vehicle. This is my overall favorite. This is, if I'm going out, like I said, this is the weapon or the vehicle I'm using. This is the setup I'm using. But both of these are going to be great. The Fly Swatter with the air-to-air missiles, you know what? If you can use them and not be stupid, more power to you. They're really good in situations, specifically getting that first hit. And we're going to talk a little bit more about that in the second version or the second edition of this video. But I have a mental problem with them. I am stupid for a stupid weapon. So if you're good with them, again, use them. But I'm not. So these are my setups. Hopefully that helps. The next thing that I really wanted to talk about has to do with vehicle shape and size and hitboxes. Now, a lot of what you're going to be seeing on the screen right now has been blatantly ripped off of the Planetside forums and Reddit, so I'll make sure to give people credit in the comments. But ultimately, what I want to show here is the top-down comparison. You can see here that the Mosquito has by far the slimmest profile. Now, these pixels are going to probably change based on your monitor and all that kind of stuff, but it's at least giving you a good idea of what the ratio is of hittable space. The Mosquito is long and thin and hard to hit. The Scythe has the bananas off to the side that give it a little bit extra, surface area when you're attacking from the top. And the Reaver's basically a flying bus. Now, if you think it's bad from the top, let's check it out from the side. You can see that the Reaver, again, is the big, bulky beast of the group. If we're talking about the Mosquito, again, it's slim and narrow, but not quite as much as the Scythe. So I don't want to make this so specific to what class I'm flying. Yes, I fly a Reaver, but I want to make sure that you can all take something away from this. So looking at this, take a look at the vehicle you fly and take a look at the vehicles that you fight. So for me, as a Reaver pilot, I know that I've got smaller hitboxes to attack, and I've got a big hitbox on me. So I need to be able to be agile, I need to be fast, I need to make sure that I can put myself in the right situations to be successful. If I'm allowing other pilots to come up on me and attack me, I need to be ready to get out of those situations or avoid them altogether. Planetside is a MMO, and the keyword there is massively. And when you've got this many different pilots flying around, it is critical that you know the different sounds that the Empire-specific fighters make. So we're going to play a little game, and I know we're talking about a game, so it's like a game within a game, so it's like Gameception. I'm going to play you a sound, and I want you to guess which fighter that actually belongs to. So here's our first sound. If you said that it was the Scythe, you're absolutely right. So let's go ahead and go on to the next one. Yep, that's the Reaver. So as you've probably guessed, the next one is going to be... And process of elimination tells us that's the Mosquito. Now, the reason that I'm telling you guys about this is because you don't need to see your target to know what's around you. If you hear that very conventional sound and you're in a Mosquito and you hear that, you're going to know that there's another Mosquito around. However, if you almost hear that pulsating sound that a Reaver makes, you're going to know that there's an enemy in the area. Knowing the sounds gives you another sense that you can use when you're flying. Hearing an enemy fighter in the area lets you know that you need to be on the lookout, if not maybe even doing an Immelman or a reverse turn to check your tail to see if there's anybody waiting for you. The last thing that I really wanted to hit on in this episode is talking about the fight-or-flight reflex. And essentially, you've got two situations. If you're coming head-to-head with another enemy fighter, you can either hit the afterburners and continue straight, which is the flight reflex. I'm getting out of there. And the main benefit to that is, if you're going head-on, they have to hit the brakes, position themselves, and then chase after you. You'll be long gone by that point. The other option, and we're all playing a video game to kill the enemy, so it makes sense, is to turn around and fight. And that's where the maneuvers that we talked about before really come into place, and we're going to talk about that more in the next episodes. So I know most of this information was really basic, but the things that are coming up next, we're going to talk about air-to-air missiles and using them offensively and defensively. How do you get the hell out of there when you've got a lock on? We're also going to talk about attack angles on Liberators and Galaxies and best approaches on the fighters. Talk about leading targets and drop-off and how the different air maneuvers we've talked about before really play into how you fight other enemy fighters. So if there's anything you want covered, please make sure to let me know now so I can work it into the next videos. As always, guys, I really appreciate you watching. If you haven't yet, please hit that sub button. There's a lot more good stuff coming. We're going to be moving into Liberator stuff after we're done with the fighters. So take care. Thanks for watching. Have a good one. Happy New Year. I'll talk to you later.